The screen fades in on a misty Japanese temple at dawn, cherry blossoms drifting lazily in the breeze. A soft voiceover begins, warm and inviting, like an old friend sharing a profound secret over tea. There's a hidden truth from ancient Japan that can turn any ordinary soul into an unstoppable force of growth. The cruel irony? The more you convince yourself you're an expert in your own limitations, the more you seal your fate to stagnation. But imagine reclaiming the wonder of a child, the way a 3-year-old devours the world, learning languages, skills, and wonders in a single year that most adults couldn't touch in a decade. No rigid plans, no forced discipline, just pure, unfiltered absorption. Why do they succeed where we falter? It's not magic. It's a mindset unearthed by Zen masters 8 centuries ago, now echoed in the labs of cutting-edge neuroscientists. This is Shoshin, the beginner's mind. And when you weave it with the timeless rhythms of Shuhari, the evolutionary cycle, and Du, the eternal path, you awaken something awe-inspiring, the power to master anything at any age without ever hitting a wall. Yet most of us lose this spark by our mid-20s. Our brains, once vibrant sponges, start to harden like clay left in the sun. We whisper defeats to ourselves. I'm no good at this. I'm too old. Change isn't for me. We live these lies until a breaking point shatters them. Before I unfold the tale of one man's radical rebirth, pause with me. What skill have you buried in the graveyard of too late? Share it below. It fuels the fire for stories like this. Now let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Man Who Lost Faith in Himself. Alexander Thorne stared at his grease-streaked hands under the harsh fluorescent lights of the auto shop, the metallic tang of oil clinging to his skin like a second shadow. At 32, he was the picture of quiet endurance, a broad-shouldered man with calluses etched deep from a decade of wrenching engines back to life. He clocked in at 7 a.m., sharp, the first one there, and dragged himself out at 7 p.m., bones aching, pride flickering like a dying bulb because at least he provided. But beneath that stoic facade, a storm raged. Every day, as sleek sedans rolled in driven by lawyers in crisp suits, doctors with confident strides, and entrepreneurs barking orders into their phones, Alexander's mind whispered poison. How did they climb so high? Brains I don't have? Luck I never got? Their cars gleamed with the polish of success, costing more than his yearly salary times 3. It gnawed at him, this invisible divide. In the quiet moments, when the shop's clamor faded, Alexander dreamed big. He yearned to study engineering, not just to fix machines, but to unravel their secrets, to design something revolutionary. He pictured his own garage, not this rented pit, but a thriving business where innovation hummed like a well-tuned motor. He imagined financial freedom, no more scraping by, counting every penny at month's end. And physically, he wanted strength, the kind that let him chase his kids around the yard without gasping for air, muscles forged not from labor alone, but from purpose. But dreams collided with reality like a head-on crash. That inner voice, amplified by years of societal echoes, roared, 32, Alex. Too damn late. High school was a struggle. Engineering? Dream on. No time. No cash. No smarts. It was the gospel he'd internalized. Learning has an expiration date. Youth is for growth. After 30, you're set in stone. So he trudged on autopilot, home to the modest 2-bedroom where Sarah waited with a tired smile, work devouring his days, weekends dissolving into exhausted oblivion. Bills piled like unanswered prayers, paid at the 11th hour, leaving nothing for tomorrow. Survival, not living, until one fateful Saturday shattered the facade. Chapter 2. The day. Everything fell apart. The sun filtered through the lace curtains of their living room, casting warm patterns on the worn hardwood floor. It was a rare, lazy Saturday. Alexander sprawled on the couch, scrolling mindlessly through his phone, the weight of the week melting away. Sarah bustled in the kitchen, humming an old tune as she mopped, her laughter echoing like a balm. She was his anchor, 5 years married, with eyes that still sparkled when she looked at him, despite the strains. Their 2 kids, Mia and Jake, aged 6 and 4, were at a neighbor's play date, giving them a precious bubble of quiet. Then, a piercing scream sliced the air. "Alex! Alex! Help!" Heart slamming, Alexander bolted to the kitchen. Sarah lay crumpled on the slick tiles, clutching her right arm, face twisted in agony. She'd slipped mid-mop, her full weight crashing down awkwardly. Tears streamed as she gasped. "It hurts. I think it's broken." Panic surged through him like ice water. He knelt, arms wrapping around her, trying to lift her gently to the car. But his body betrayed him, tremors in his limbs, a sharp seize in his back. 10 years of hauling parts and tools, yet he'd never built real strength, never prioritized his own temple. Shame burned hotter than the pain in her eyes. "I can't. I'm sorry," he muttered, helping her stand instead, supporting her good arm as they shuffled to the driveway. The drive to the ER was a blur of red lights and Sarah's muffled whimpers. Alexander's knuckles whitened on the wheel, mind racing not just with worry, but with dread. How much will this cost? They teetered on the financial knife's edge. Rent, groceries, kids' needs ate every dollar. An ER visit, X-rays, meds, maybe a cast. It would gut them. Hours dragged in the sterile waiting room, fluorescent buzz mocking their anxiety. Finally, the verdict. No fracture, but a brutal bone bruise. Immobilization, therapy sessions, painkillers. The bill? Over $1,200. Alexander signed with numb fingers, drove home in silence, tucked Sarah into bed with pills and ice, and waited until her breathing steadied in sleep. Alone in the dim kitchen, the weight crushed him. He slumped at the table, head in hands, and for the first time in years, tears came. Hot, unrelenting. Not just for the money, but for what it symbolized. A life of toil yielding nothing when it counted. Failing to lift his wife, to shield his family from crisis. Borrowing from credit cards just to breathe. As dawn crept in, painting the sky in soft pinks, Alexander whispered to the empty room, "This ends now. I refuse to be this broken man." But the how, that loomed like an uncharted abyss. Chapter 3. A desperate search. Monday dawned gray, matching Alexander's fogged mind. At the shop, wrenches slipped from his grip, thoughts miles away. He'd vowed change, to learn, earn, strengthen, but the path was shrouded. That evening, phone in hand, he dove into the digital void. How to boost income after 30. Starting a business with nothing. Studying engineering as an adult. Algorithms feasted, flooding his feed with glossy promises. Financial gurus flaunted 10K months and weeks. Productivity hacks touted dawn routines. Courses screamed 0 to millionaire in a year. He binged, eyes bloodshot till 2 a.m., notebooks filling with frantic scrawls. Credit card swipes for courses. Installments he couldn't afford. But knowledge was the key, right? First, a finance boot camp. Strategies to multiply savings. He devoured lessons. Spreadsheets glowing late night. But applying them? His tiny nest egg yielded zilch. Need capital to make capital, he grumbled, frustration mounting. Next, online sales. Earn from home, global reach. 3 weeks of profiles, product posts, meager ad spends, 0 sales. Doubt crept back. Not for me. Course after course, marketing, side hustles, investments, each a siren song of transformation. But nothing stuck. Exhaustion deepened, debt climbed, self-talk turned vicious. Idiot, others succeed, you're defective. One night Sarah, arms still slung, joined him at the kitchen table. Her eyes, soft with concern, met his. Alex, you're chasing shadows, skipping foundations for quick wins, consuming info like it'll magically fix you, but real change? It's deeper. Confused, he snapped, Then what? I'm trying. She shrugged gently. I don't know the map, but this ain't it. Her words echoed, a seed planted. Scrolling that night, amid hype, a quiet thumbnail appeared. Shoshin, why did you stop learning? No flash, just a serene man of Japanese heritage. Curiosity won. Alexander clicked. 15 minutes later, his world cracked open. Chapter 4. Shoshin, the Discovery. The video opened with Zen master Shunryu Suzuki's timeless words. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's, there are few. Alexander rewound, the phrase resonating like a forgotten melody. The narrator, voice steady as a mountain stream, unpacked it. Adults falter not from lacking talent, but from excess certainty. Self-imposed cages of I know my limits. Shoshin, beginner's mind, was the key. Approaching life with openness, eagerness, no prejudices, even in familiar territories. No ego shielding from stupid questions, just raw curiosity. He illustrated, a beginner in art sketches freely, unburdened by right ways. An expert clings to rigid methods, blind to innovation. Shoshin revives that childlike spark, enthusiasm undimmed by complacency. Alexander's chest tightened. He'd approached every course already defeated, preconceptions dooming him. The video wove in contrasts. An adult in Spanish class, scarred by past failures, quits in weeks. A child dives in shamelessly, mistakes his play, fluent in months. It's not biology, the man said. It's mindset. Then the gut punch question. How much have you missed by deciding you're incapable before trying? Alexander paused, tears pricking. He'd never truly learned, just skimmed, armored in doubt. Completing the triad, Shuhari, Shu, obey rules, copy masters, Ha, break and adapt, Rai, transcend, embody. All within do, the path without end, growth as eternal journey. No arrivals, just evolution. The video closed with a mentorship invite. Not hype, but genuine guidance. Affordable, yet valuable. For once, Alexander felt clarity, not frenzy. He enrolled that night, heart pounding with quiet hope. Chapter 5. Mentorship, Kaizen, and Ikigai. The first Zoom session hit like cold water. Expecting blueprints for wealth, Alexander got introspection. The mentor, Hiroshi, eyes kind yet piercing, asked, Why change? Alexander blurted, More money, better family care, strength. Hiroshi shook his head. Surface ripples. Dig deeper. Your core fire? Silence, stretched. Because I feel worthless, proving I can rise, not just survive. Hiroshi nodded. That's Ikigai, your reason for being. Intersection of passion, skill, world's need and reward. What pulls you from bed when dawn's cruel? For Alexander, it crystallized. Not failing Sarah again, showing his kids a victorious father, reclaiming self-worth. Ikigai anchored him. Change wasn't greed, but rebirth. Next, Kaizen, continuous refinement, 1% daily. Not leaps, but compounding whispers. Improve 1% a day? In 365, you're 37 times stronger. Exponential magic. But caveat, progress hides at first. No fanfare, just faith. Alexander nodded. His failed sprints craved instant highs, dooming them. Tying it, Shoshin opens the door. Shuhari guides steps. Do sustains the walk. Kaizen fuels increments. Ikigai lights the way. No shortcuts, Hiroshi said. Embrace the invisible grind. Alexander left buzzing. Not with hype, but purpose. Chapter 6. The First Step. Shuhari in Practice. Hiroshi's assignment. Pick 3 realms. Apply Shuhari starting with Shu. Blind obedience to masters. Body. Alexander hit the gym, begging a trainer pal for a basic program. 3 weekly sessions, no tweaks. Weights felt foreign, form awkward, but he copied religiously. Shoshin silenced ego. Beginner learn. Mind. Engineering foundations? Back to basics. Free online high school physics. At 32, tackling teen stuff humiliated, but he dove in, curiosity trumping pride. Money. A budgeting book. Followed verbatim. Track every cent, /per instructions. No negotiations. Month 1. Hell. Mirror unchanged. Physics baffling. Wallet still tight. Doubts howled, but Hiroshi's words echoed. Kaizen silent. Trust. He persisted. Week 6. Gym revelation. Weights up 10 kilograms. Unnoticed till now. Gradual alchemy. Week 8. Physics clicked. Concepts blooming like spring flowers. Week 10. Spreadsheet showed surplus. Modest, but real. Invisible 1% snowballed. Understanding dawned. Shu's rules weren't chains, but scaffolds. Grasping why, he entered Ha. Adapting. Training tailored to energy needs. Physics veered to engines. Budget flexed for family quirks. Progress hummed. Self-confidence budding. 3 months post-accident. Stronger frame, sharper mind, steadier finances. Proof. Change lived. Chapter 7. The idea revealed. Bent over an engine at work, Alexander's hands moved with new insight. Physics studies illuminating mechanics. Epiphany struck. Beyond fixes, custom parts for classics and performance buffs. Niche goldmine. With Shoshin, he researched forums, asking dumb questions shamelessly. Answers flowed. Enrolled in night engineering courses, studying pre-dawn when evenings flagged. Kaizen's hour daily? 365 yearly. Transformative. Sarah beamed. This is my Alex. Alive, not surviving. He prototyped engine mounts, outsourced fabrication, sold 5 online fast. Reinvested, scaled. 10, then 20. Profit snowballed. 6 months. Side gig rivaled shop pay. Theory fueling practice. A year on, quit the job, launched Thorn Custom Parts. Colleagues scoffed. Family risk? But Ikigai clarified. This was his path, not folly. Chapter 8. Transcendence. 2 years from that kitchen breakdown, company thriving, employees hired, parts shipping interstate, funds secure, emergency stash, investments blooming, physically, beast mode, hoisting Sarah and kids playfully, mentally, engineering sophomore, acing with Shoshin zeal, outpacing youth, internally, Rai embodied, discipline innate, learning reflexive, growth automatic, rules internalized, effortless. Young employee Marcus marveled. How? Alexander shared. Thought I was done at 32. But Shoshin freed me. Kill ego, embrace eternal apprenticeship, science validated. Carol Dweck's growth mindset accelerates learning. Studies showed age irrelevant. Belief rules. Huberman's neuroplasticity. Active, humble engagement rewires brains lifelong. The paradox. Humility, admit ignorance, plus confidence, believe mastery. Resolved in do. Endless path, beginner forever. Alexander lived it. Success didn't breed arrogance. Shoshin persisted, growth unending. Where are you? Shackled by certainties? Shatter them. Shoshin, open curiosity. Shuhari, evolve, do, journey on. Kaizen, daily 1%. Ikigai, purpose deep. This isn't hack, it's rebirth. What skill calls? Share below. Subscribe for more awakenings. Remember, beginner's mind, infinite horizons.